Hello and welcome to our podcast on tuberculosis. I'm Calvin Rabb, and then my partner is Kate Garfalo. Well, where is the best place to start when doing a podcast? Obviously, right in the beginning, right? Well, here's a brief history of tuberculosis. The disease actually goes back thousands of years. Scientists have found tuberculosis strand in bison from over 17,000 years ago. Not only did this disease affect animals of an early time, but also humans. Tuberculosis has been found in prehistoric humans. Researchers were actually doing a study a couple years ago and found the disease in the spines of Egyptian mummies. So, as you can see, this has been going on for a really long time. One time that this disease made a really big difference in the world was in 460 BC in ancient Greece. There was a major outbreak, but yet it wasn't called tuberculosis. The Greeks actually called it phthisis. That's what's been in the logs. Before the Industrial Revolution, tuberculosis was actually believed to come from vampires. That's how good their knowledge was on this. And then finally, tuberculosis was actually pinpointed in 1689 by Dr. Richard Morton. And then later, a little more recently, in 1822, it was identified as a single pathogen disease by J.L. Cholin. He coined the name tuberculosis, as we know it now. Well, now you have a brief history of tuberculosis, and you're probably wondering how you get it. Well, the disease is contracted to another when the bacteria spreads from one person to another through microscopic droplets that are released in the air from the person that has tuberculosis. So, as I said, these droplets are coming from someone who has an untreated and an active form of tuberculosis. They need it so they can pass it off to you. You can get it if this active person, if they cough, if they speak, if they sneeze, laugh, or even if they cough. Well, did that scare you? Well, it probably did. It scared me. Well, here are some symptoms just in case you think you may have it. First off, if you even think you should have it, just go to a doctor immediately. Don't finish this podcast. Do not go. Just go straight to your doctor. Alright, anyway. Symptoms may include a bad cough, pain in the chest, coughing up blood, weakness or fatigue, weight loss, no appetite, chills, and fever. Yeah, they're all no fun. So, and if you think you have tuberculosis, doctors, they actually have medication for it now. I will discuss that later in this podcast. Well, let's suppose you did have all those symptoms and you didn't go to the doctor and you actually stayed listening to this podcast, which is a very, very bad idea. So let me talk a little bit about what on earth this disease does. Well, tuberculosis is an infection that actually it attacks your lungs, but it can also attack any part of the body. It's just mostly found and most prevalent in your lungs. That's where it's most popular, I guess. And this would lead you suffocating to death, so not very fun. The disease will actually destroy tissue, causing an organ failure. Also, tuberculosis will cause inflammation. So most commonly, like I said, that is in the lungs, but it can go really anywhere. So, have I scared you enough? Well, to add to your fear a little more, here's how tuberculosis actually kills you. And Kate will finish this one off.
Hi guys. So today I will be talking to you about how tuberculosis can kill you and also how you can be treated. So, as Calvin mentioned earlier in this podcast, this disease attacks your lungs and is very deadly. This is the most common way to die, and is another word for it is called respiratory failure. The tissue in your lungs are killed by tuberculosis, and it cannot absorb any more oxygen. It can also spread to other parts of your body. For example, your kidneys and your other organs. And it can also lead to kidney failure. So as I mentioned earlier, I was going to start talking about the treatments for tuberculosis. So first, you want to immediately go to your doctor and tell him that you think you have tuberculosis. And he might diagnose you with latent infection, and you will be treated with an antibiotic called isoniazid, and it is often prescribed to help prevent the dormant infection from becoming active. And if you have an active infection, you will receive several antibiotics to treat the infection and help prevent resistant bacteria from emerging into your body. You may be taking a combination of antibiotics that may include isoniazid, rifampin, pyrazinamide, or ethanbuto for 6 to 12 months. And thank you for watching this video. And if you know anyone with tuberculosis or you yourself have tuberculosis, please consult a doctor right away and hope you feel better. Thank you.